Picture this. On a crisp autumn morning, I was walking through an old antique store when something caught my eye. Hidden behind dusty books and forgotten trinkets was what looked like an ordinary wooden stick. But something about it seemed different. It had this strange ethereal glow that seemed to pulse with ancient energy. Against my better judgment, I bought it for $5. The old shopkeeper just chuckled as I left, which should have been my first warning sign. That night, I was messing around with it in my backyard, pretending to be a wizard like in those fantasy movies. You know, just waving it around, saying random made-up spells. Abracadabra, alakazam, the usual stuff. Nothing happened at first, but then I said something that sounded vaguely Latin. Don't ask me what it was, I can't remember. And suddenly the wand started vibrating. The air around me grew thick and heavy. The ground beneath my feet began to tremble. And then, right there in my suburban backyard between Mrs. Johnson's prized rose bushes and my sad attempt at a vegetable garden, something started emerging from the earth. At first it was just a claw, then another. Then a massive, scaly head burst through the soil, eyes glowing like molten lava. Before I knew it, I was face to face with a creature straight out of my worst nightmares. A 30-foot monster with wings that could block out the sun. I stood there, frozen, still holding that stupid wand, as the creature stretched its neck toward the sky and let out a roar that shattered every window on my street. And then, as if that wasn't terrifying enough, it opened its mouth and released a stream of fire so hot it turned my garden gnome into a puddle of melted plastic. The funny thing is, in all those movies about finding magical objects, they never show you the practical problems of accidentally creating a fire-breathing monster. Like, what do you feed it? Where does it sleep? How do you explain to your insurance company that your roof is gone because your pet monster got excited during a game of fetch? I tried every spell I could think of to make it disappear, but nothing worked. The wand just sat there in my hand, probably laughing at me if wands could laugh. Meanwhile, my new scaly friend had made himself comfortable on my roof, occasionally barbecuing, passing clouds for fun. The local news started calling it the suburban dragon incident. Animal control refused to come after one look at the situation. The military showed up, took one look, and mysteriously lost my paperwork. And my HOA? They just sent me a strongly worded letter about unauthorized pets and excessive property damage. So here I am 5 months later, still trying to figure out what to do with a fire-breathing monster that thinks I'm its parent. The wand? I tried to return it to the antique store, but the place had mysteriously vanished. Classic, right? Let this be a lesson to all of you. Sometimes the best deals at antique stores are the ones you walk away from. And if you ever find a glowing stick that looks magical, just leave it be. Trust me, the paperwork alone isn't worth it.